Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mark with Niche Authority Empire. Today we're going to build our monetization model map. Okay, so that's a mouthful, but we'll get through it. So start off with a sheet. Now I'm going to explain a few of the key benefits to building one of these. But start off with your services and an estimated cost. We'll get into how to extract some of this information in a moment. Products and cost, and then potential referral percentage costs. And if there's additional ways that your business model could essentially monetize their business, then you can add it in there. Maybe they already have subscriptions, or if not, we're going to get into that in later modules about helping your businesses implement that stuff for massive gains. But just to start off, we want to again, this is going to help familiarize us, but it's also really going to push us to understand how we can help our clients grow or our marketing partners grow. So these numbers are arbitrary for the most part. Well, these really aren't, but these percentages are pretty arbitrary. I think one of the biggest, they're honestly kind of probably going to be pretty accurate. We're going with the dentist for the example again. So many businesses miss out on having referral strategies in place, but it's really easy for a dentist to be able to find an orthodontist and an oral surgeon who will kick them back 5% or so on all referrals that they send them. And if you find a really hungry or an orthodontist or oral surgeon that's in a position to really aggressively scale their practice, they might offer a few additional points as a percentage, but it's arbitrary at this point. We just want to try to map out some opportunities, right? So that's more of what we're doing here. This is in most cases conceptual, theoretical. It's just some opportunities we could eventually help our clients pursue. Over here, we're actually going to pull some real data. I'm going to show you guys how to do that, but we want to try to get this down. We want to really familiarize ourselves, and when we're done with this, we're going to see what the best services are to offer to increase their client base for, where they're going to make the most money at, is what I'm trying to say. So in any industry, it doesn't matter. It's very few industries this doesn't apply to, especially service-based, where you're gonna have your people that come in to get teeth cleaning, and as you can see, there's like a smaller dollar whitening service and fillings that might only be a couple $100. You're gonna have your people coming in for veneers and implant type services, where again, as you can see here, that's $1,000 to $3,000 per tooth. So just to get the front 8 teeth done, you're looking at, essentially $15,000 to $25,000. So it's a higher ticket item. The more you generate these type of clients, the more valuable you're going to be to the business you're working with. So of course that makes sense. So the whitenings, the fillings, the cleanings, stuff like that, it keeps the lights on, it covers overhead, it can cover payroll, it keeps the book full, it kind of builds that initial customer base where, if they're at a point where they do want veneers or implants, or they have quite a bit of oral surgery that needs done or something, they're going to deal with their dentist, right? They're not going to go somewhere else. So the cleanings and the lower dollar stuff is definitely important, but we want to always kind of have, we always kind of want to be mindful of these larger services that can just equal massive paydays for our clients. And it doesn't matter if it's a dentist. You can go to just about any industry. You have blacktop guys who seal coat, and a seal coating might cost a couple $100. And then in the case where they need their driveway expanded or just new asphalt put down, you're looking at a substantial job, and you're not going to call a brand new asphalt company. You're going to use your seal. You're going to use the guys that are already out seal coating your stuff. You have a relationship with them. Psychologically, as a consumer, that's who you're going to purchase from. You can have someone come in and throw a concrete patio in, or a sidewalk, and the concrete construction company can profit from that. But at the end of the day, if you call them to come put a $30,000 stamped and colored concrete patio in, that's going to be where the payday's at. So the more decorative stuff, it can get a little more expensive as far as products, but it's still decent margin stuff. An experienced crew could come throw a $20,000 to $40,000 patio in less than a week. It's a decent chunk of profit for the company, and we could go on all day. Just different companies that that benefit greatly from the larger ticket items they offer. So keep that in mind, guys. It's another thing we're going for, is to kind of familiarize ourselves not just with the different service offerings in the industry, but the things that are going to, have the best bang for the buck for your client. So Google is going to be our best friend here again, as usual. If we just do a quick search for like dentist in Los Angeles, we click through, excuse me, you're going to find a bunch of different services, right? A bunch of different services, dentists. You can do 4 or 5 of these, for the ones that have a lot of services listed. Go ahead and check them out. It's going to give you some ideas of what to price out. Okay, so a lot of things you might not have heard about here. Invisalign, for instance, is a teeth straightening solution that a lot of dentists are starting to offer, and much to orthodontists' chagrin. But if your dentist isn't offering Invisalign, you should encourage them, help them. For me, I know a lot of Invisalign guys, so I don't just tell my dentists, hey, go start offering Invisalign. I actually have info I can shoot to them. I can plug them up with senior Invisalign people who will make the process awesome. I'm like the high level consultant in that relationship. It's the Invisalign people get on a plane and fly out to the dentist in some cases if it's a big enough practice or they do enough revenue. If they see it's going to be a massive lost opportunity to not close them, and at that point I'm seen as like the concierge. I'm the man in that situation. I'm a liaison. I'm creating this massively profitable service they can start offering, where they can, instead of sending people to the orthodontist for a 5 to 7% kickback, they're now going to be performing Invisalign in-house, and stuff like that can exponentially increase the yearly revenue. So just familiarizing yourself with what this stuff is kind of the first step. And we'll get more into learning your niche and speaking the language, but this is a really good start, guys. We're building the foundation for you guys to create your niche empire. So once we have some ideas here, it's time to start dropping stuff in the sheet. And so I'm going to Google cost of dental procedures. Now, obviously, not all of you guys are, going to go for dentistry. I hope none of you go for dentistry. I'm just kidding. There's enough pie for all of us. But, it doesn't matter what industry you're in. You're most likely going to be able to find pricing lists. Home Advisor offers a lot of pricing solutions for construction companies. And another thing you're going to find is some of these numbers, just like the CLVs that are published, can be wildly inaccurate, and you can see massive fluctuations that are just incredible. Again, a lot of things are going to be priced based on the metropolitan area they're in. Small town services are going to be a lot more inexpensive than someone wanting oral surgery or their mouth redone in Beverly Hills. Again, I use that example a lot. And the more affluent the areas you're in, the more services are going to cost. So you need to keep that in mind when you're figuring this stuff out. Your small town client your small town dental practice is not going to be charging the same amount as a $7 or $8 million a year practice outside of Seattle, in one of the nice suburbs. So keep that in mind as well, guys. We just want to get some rough numbers in place, because even though the numbers can be a bit inaccurate, we want to see where the big ticket services are, because that's learning more about those and being able to help your clients acquire clients for those services are gonna make you look like a superstar. You're gonna show them an ROI on your investment very quickly. So as you can see, we can pull up Animated Teeth has a ton of different pricing lists for all kinds of dental procedures. It's a lot of a lot of information here. Again, we can even do a simple Google search and see, okay, cost of dental implants. So we see dental implants over here. We Google it, and there you go. So a single implant can cost $1,000 to $3,000. Again, someone gets their front 8 done, you're looking at $15,000 to $25,000. It's a high ticket item. It's a high ticket sale. So we can drop that in the sheet. We differentiate by tooth, so that's /T for tooth, whatever whatever makes it easier for you to remember. You can go through, of course, we have a site here, so we see how much is porcelain veneers. We see $730 to $1,300 per tooth. And how much is teeth whitening? So we go through, and I want you guys to go through. This is a great exercise. Don't push this off. Make some time in the very, very near future, like when you're done watching this. Build your monetization model map just like this, and just start adding stuff in and get a little creative with the referrals. Maybe even add a section over here for subscriptions. Okay, for subscriptions or continuity. I didn't want to get into that right now because we're not getting into that right now. But if you had you can start to get kind of creative. Think of different ways they could get their client to come in more. Obviously, with dentists, their biggest continuity plan is going to be cleanings, and so that's kind of already done for you. So how that's a model you can focus on, where it's how can we increase the number of times someone comes in for you. Can we get them in here every 6 months? Or if the current retention rate is, or the frequency in which people buy is, once every, like my one dentist I talked about in a previous video, was like once every 18 or 17 or 18 months they came back for a cleaning. If you can exponentially decrease that number, you're essentially increasing the value of their subscription program, their continuity program, right? So keep that stuff in mind. But for different business models that don't have an obvious subscription plan, you can start getting creative here and thinking, hey, what can these guys charge monthly for? Even if it's a very small fee, what can they start building residual wealth with? So you can get a little creative here, but get the basic services down. As you can see, some dentists are stocking toothbrushes and stuff like that. So if you're and some service industries just aren't going to have products. So again, like a concrete construction company, they're not going to stock products, but they are going to make markup on certain products, certain and maybe that's not the best example, but a roofing company, for instance, is going to make different markups on different roofing materials. So even getting that down, and just to start to familiarize yourself with, hey, this is we're making an incredible markup on this specific material. So if we can do five more of these jobs per month, it's going to be this much more in income. So you can just really play around with that, but definitely, if for nothing else, really just get this built out so you can familiarize yourself with the industry. Find a few good resources on the web. Again, it's pretty simple. Just use Google liberally, and you'll unearth a plethora, treasure trove of information. Just take your time and get that done, guys. And once you're done, jump into the next video, and we're gonna keep building on this foundation. Thanks.